Hello lovely people on the internet, my name is Sabrina and welcome back to my channel. It is time for a zodiac drawing. I'm so looking forward to this one, so I say let's get on to it. Today it is time to draw the Gemini zodiac, and I really enjoyed drawing this one. Now I decided not to go for the apparent obvious, which is twins. I could have done that, but I decided against it. Instead, I decided to draw this lovely lady. So as always, I start sketching out on my iPad, which is a godsend. I'm so incredibly happy that I got the iPad. It is so nice to work with. And again, I don't know how many times I've said it, but I'm so looking forward to try and do digital art as well and see if I can pull that off and maybe try and incorporate both. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Should I try digital art, and do you want to see a video of my attempt? So I only had a basic thing in mind for this drawing. So I wanted to draw a girl with long hair, cutesy look, and with a simple top. Now that was basically the idea that I had. I wasn't quite sure what else to do with it, but I ended up with this, and I did things a little bit backwards at times because I'm filling in the line art over here right now, and afterwards you see me drawing in her tattoos and a bit of the background, and that is because I came up with them afterwards once the line art was done. But you know, that is fine, and I went for it. I tried my best at drawing roses. I'm not an expert at drawing roses. I haven't really drawn roses, but I think they ended up quite well. So she turned out to be a lovely young lady with tattoos and roses and plants behind her, and yeah, I do quite like the idea. I'm quite happy with it, so I can't complain. Now the only thing that did happen, however, is I'm using my phone for like the second view, which is at the side of the drawing, and usually I tend to switch back and forth to show you guys different points of views to make it more interesting. And I don't know why my phone started doing this, but it is as if all the clips, they're all corrupt. I don't know how, but all the clips are basically flickering back and forth between different kind of frames, and it is so strange. I've never seen anything like that before, and when I found out, I had the entire drawing finished, and it was done over 2 days. And I moved all the files, and I didn't check the files before I started the second day, so I don't even have half a day that I can show you guys. But yeah, I was quite bummed out by that, I can tell you. So I'm doing my best to make sure this video is showing up as nicely as possible, and I'm trying to see if I can get some new tricks up here to improve the video quality. But oh my goodness, no, that was not fun at all. I don't know what happened, but after I restarted my phone, apparently everything was fine. So yeah, next time I will definitely do a test run of my video on my phone to make sure that that's okay. And I suppose I just have to buy new equipment. I know I want a new camera anyway, and use that as the main camera, and then my Osmo can be like the side view camera, but that is future plans. There's no money for that right now, and I cannot justify spending money on that at this moment. So yeah, that'll be quite hard. That is rather annoying. So I started with the skin color here, as you can see, and I am still waiting on my copics, and they didn't arrive yet. So that's why this is done with the ones that I have. And yeah, I just used the regular skin tones, blended them in, and there's more skin than usual because she's only wearing like a tank top, so that is, or like a spaghetti strap top, how do you call them? But yeah, so I had to color in more than I usually do. I do have to say though that the marker that I kind of overfilled, it acted reasonably well. Now I did have a piece of paper next to me every time I thought that the marker would dump out a load of juice, that I would put that on the paper next to me, so that to avoid it blopping on the actual drawing. I did not want it to destroy the drawing, especially because there is so much skin to see right here. So because there's so much skin, I want to make sure that I really went over it with the blush properly. I wanted to make sure there was enough of it, so the cheeks got blushed, the chest, the shoulders and the elbows area, and the hands area as well. So I suppose it's like the areas I always do, but because this is like a bigger blown out version of what I usually draw, I wanted to make sure there was more emphasis on that as well, and that there was enough color in it too. So once that was done, I did not want to make everything with the marker and then go over it with the pencil. I want to make sure that that was done while I was working on it. And that is exactly what I did. So I went over it with a brown pencil just to give her some extra skin tone there and work on the shadowy areas and lighten her up a little bit. And with the, it's kind of like a reddish pink pencil. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I really like it. I love using it, and I don't even have to put so much effort into making the skin tones with that, because I don't have to press hard on it. It just comes out with pencil, and I don't know, it's just a really good pencil for some reason, and it's one of the nicer ones I have. So what I've done as well is I made her eyes blue with the same colors as I'm doing her hair. And yeah, I'm making her hair blue, guys, and I like how it looks. I think it's different. I did not want to have a natural hair color for this drawing for some reason. I think a natural hair color would not look right on this drawing. It would not give it the bit extra oomph that I wanted it to have. So that's why I went for blue. I am really happy with that decision though. I'm quite pleased with the outcome, but I wanted her eyes to have the same kind of blue. So I've done that. I worked with the eyes the way I usually do, but then I went over it with a dark blue and a black pencil to make sure that the areas that I wanted to have darker were actually properly darker. And I put in a bit of yellow in the center of the eye as well, and as you know, blue and yellow makes green, and that is exactly what happened here too. So I worked in a bit of yellow there, and then I, instead of putting 2 dots for the sparkles in her eyes, I actually gave her sparkly eyes. So there's like 1 big dot and several smaller dots as well, and I thought that worked pretty awesome with it being a zodiac sign. So yeah, really happy with her eyes, especially, I suppose. Even though it's such a small feature in this drawing, I think that is the main thing, or the first thing you look at, and you want to make eye contact. I think that's kind of a natural thing, I suppose. And I think with drawings, you look at eyes too. I look at eyes anyway. I love how other people draw their eyes, so I always want to improve on mine as well. But that's what I did. So after that was done, I moved on to her hair. And as I said, I'm using the same colors for hair that I used for eyes, or the other way around. However you'd like to see it, I started on her eyes first, so I suppose the first one. And I started with the base layer. And this time, because there's not like a stop where I could stop putting the blue in, I went over it with the entire thing with the base layer, and then worked with the highlights and the shadowy areas. So that's what I've done. I try to put it in as good as possible, like putting the darker areas where there will be more shadow and where it would make most sense basically. And then off camera, because again it's working with darker colors and it's just a bit easier for me to do that way, but I went over it with a darker blue and a little bit of black just to darken some areas up even more. I think it gives a nicer effect. It works better with some hair colors than it does with others, and I don't know why. I'm not sure why. I think I like it the most when it's like the brown / black hair. I think that's when it works really well, where you can really darken up the black of the marker even more, and the highlights work super well with the white pen or the white pencil on there. So that's what I really liked. I did go over it with white pencil here too, and it does have an effect. It absolutely has an effect. I could see it myself. Maybe I'm the only one who sees it, but sure. As long as I'm happy with it, that is what matters, I suppose. But yeah, I'm really happy with how that came out. So for her top, I wanted to make sure that it wouldn't take away from the rest of the drawing, but it did need it to have something on it, obviously. So I decided to use my lightest purple colors, and they're really the two lightest ones that I have actually. So I used one of them for like the shadowy areas. Now there's one area where I wish I wouldn't have used it so much. I wish I would have just stuck to just the lightest one and keep it at that. I think that area that I put in that's a bit darker, it doesn't quite fit that way. But yeah, hindsight is 2020, as I say, so can't do much about that. But anyway, I am quite happy with it. I also tried to make sure that her teeth weren't just white. Actually, I don't know exactly at what point I've done them, but I wanted to make sure that there was like a line in there, that they had a little bit of dimension in there. So I suppose if you zoom in, you can look and see how it actually turns out. But then it was time for the background, and those are the flowers. And for the flowers, I've made roses. I don't know what the other one is, because I literally just made that up with like the little balls in them, and I don't know what they're called. I suppose they kind of look like lavender, but that wasn't necessarily my intention. But yeah, the roses were definitely intended that way, and the leaves of course were. So what I did for the leaves this time, I really wanted to go in with the lightest yellow green color that I had, and then have quite a steep move to like the darker colors for the edges, and I love how that looks. I think it's so gorgeous. It's kind of got a yellowish tint in there. Obviously it's a yellow green, but yeah, I really am happy with the outcome there. And once that was done, I moved on to her tattoos, because yes, she has tattoos. This one, I've never drawn tattoos on a character before. I think never. I think this is the first time, but I'm quite happy with how they turned out. So I went in with a gray for like her plainer tattoos, and I did color in like the flower tattoo on like her forearm there, and I love how they turn out. I really do. I'm so happy with them. I think they quite look like tattoos. So yeah, that's a really good one. I'm happy with it. So we're nearing the end of this drawing already. I can't believe how fast this is going. I'm excited about the outcome. I'm happy with it, even though it is not twins for Gemini that I've made. I really do like my version of this one. So I hope you guys let me know down below in the comments what you think. If this is your star sign, if you think I did well. I just like to hear your opinion on this one. So just give me a shout and let me know. So this is it guys, the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye!